Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Tim in Green Bay. We got a Chalk Talk Tuesday. Is that right? Man, that sounds good, don't it, Tim? We're on schedule this week. Chalk Talk Tuesday tonight, where we're going to break down the 16 most important plays from the Packers win over the Giants. Before we get into that, we're also going to hit on a little Jayden Reed tweet that went out, kind of perking some ears up. We'll hear from Matt LaFleur and what he talked about at his presser. Basically, specifically mentioning the IR window. The guys that are on IR and opening that practice window for them to potentially return to the lineup. And then we'll get into a little Jordan Love, Micah Parsons talk, leading right into Chalk Talk, as both of those players, outstanding game in New York, or Jersey, I should say, there on Sunday with that win over the Giants. Before we get into all that, if you would, do that YouTube stuff for me. Hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your evening. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans just like you, talking Packers on the daily. Like tonight, we're going to be doing the Chalk Talk episode where we break down those plays, talk X's and O's, try to understand what happened, why did it happen out there in the Meadowlands. So if that's the type of content you're looking for, make sure you subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. Tim, having a good day, big dog?
Ready to go, man. Chalk Talk, let's go.
Yeah, we got a couple segments we're going to hit before we get into it, so we'll try to go rapid fire tonight. I believe Emilio will be joining us shortly as well, and I apologize for the throat, man. I don't know what's going on. We may have to go visit the doctor, see what's up. But nonetheless, we're here. We're ready to roll. Let's get into it, man. Jayden Reed fired this tweet out earlier today, I believe it was, right? Yeah, so around 4:39. I love it. Just a simple picture. Him with the helmet on, got the gear on, ready to roll in the iced out white jerseys, and no text, nothing along with it. Tim, I think Bird's sending a little signal like the plan might potentially be to open up the practice window possibly tomorrow. I think we'll find out once they get on the practice field, or if Matt LaFleur does a presser before they hit the practice field. This is exciting, man. You get Jayden Reed back. You're really, really cooking with Crisco now.
I love it, man. I love this new generation of players where they're not going to tell you specifics. Like you said, no text, just a photo, just a little tweet here, little tweet from the Bird, letting everybody know that I think the window's opening up. And I've been waiting all year. I know everyone else has, like Scoot, Jay Reed, MG on the field at the same time. I think we're ready for it, man. It's coming.
Yeah. It's going to make this offense so much more dynamic. And how I always respond to players coming back from injury, Tim, is like, okay, we need to curb the enthusiasm. They're going to be rusty. They're going to have to ramp them up, this and that. I said that about Christian. It might take him 5 or 6 weeks to get going. First game back, bang. So I'm going to try not to curb the enthusiasm too much for this, because Jayden Reed, the reality is he was our best receiver, man, the last 2 seasons. And I know there's people that still, they hear that and they go, whatever. But it's the fact. Now, listen, he led the team in receiving yards, and then immediately the people's argument typically is, well, that's just because he's getting a lot of targets. As Wendell Ferreira put out here on Twitter, Packers wide receivers in yards per route run. That's exactly what it sounds like, guys. When they're on the field running a route, okay, here's how many yards they average in terms of gaining yards when you break it down, just strictly being on the field and running routes. Notice it didn't say yards per target there. Yards per route run. Jayden Reed leads the Packers at 3.21. Christian Watson, 2.07. Savion Williams, 1.86. Of course, minute amount of targets there, and he's very limited in terms of being on the field, I should say. Romeo Doubs, 1.75. Matthew Golden, 1.43. Bo Melton, 1.33. And Dontavion Wicks, 1.15, with Malik Heath, 0.95. So, again, Jayden Reed, he is, whether people want to admit it or not, we'll see if it continues this route, he was the number 1 receiver in terms of the guy who's having the most production, in that regard.
We saw it with Scoot, right? He missed a lot of time, back like he never left. I would anticipate the same thing from Bird. I think they're going to throw him right out there and he'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I sure hope so, man. And Jason Wilde put this tweet out earlier. It was from Matt LaFleur's presser. Again, he just quote tweeted Jayden Reed's tweet there. I apologize for the volume. There's nothing I can do. We know how these pressers are. It's cranked all the way up. But Jason Wilde said, note LaFleur's smile at the end of his initial answer. All right, let's hear this exchange.
Are you guys thinking about opening up any 21-day practice windows for IR guys?
So he asked, are you guys thinking about opening up any 21-day window for the IR practice for the IR guys?
Sure as heck hope so.
Look at that smile.
Heck yeah, dude. He said, sure as heck hope so, and he grinned.
It's been a while, and Jayden's been a while. Is there hope for both of them, or is that?
I think potentially, again, I think we'll have a better idea over the next 2 days.
So there you go. You take Jayden Reed's tweet, take Matt LaFleur grinning like a possum in a dumpster, right? And then you got him saying, I think we'll find out over the next 2 days. So I think that's I would be very, very, very surprised, Tim, if the practice window did not open up for Jayden Reed. And I know he didn't say specifically Jayden Reed. He just asked the IR guys. That could include Marshawn Lloyd, as well, or maybe just one or the other. I'm kind of feeling like all signs are pointing to Jayden Reed is going to be back in practice, man.
I would agree. And Matt's not going to tell you, unequivocally, right? We got to read between the tea leaves a little bit, pick up the covers and take a look in between the lines. But that smile says it all, right?
Yeah, it really does, man. It really does. And again, we've talked about Jayden Reed. There's multiple hats he can wear, right? Like we've seen him in the F. I was very, very vocal based off the college tape when they drafted him that he can play Z as well. And you're seeing Matthew Golden play some Z before Christian Watson came back. Jayden Reed goes down. Matthew Golden kicks to F, right, which is Jayden Reed's normal spot.
Yep.
And then, of course, what you ended up having was like Dontavion Wicks, Malik Heath, everybody kind of filling in the Z spot. They actually moved Romeo around and would put him in the F, put Golden to the X. X is typically Romeo's spot. So now you get Christian Watson back, and we've seen him at field side Z, right, speed Z. And then we've also seen him play X in the game against the Giants. You'll see that on Chalk Talk here momentarily. So what you've got is a bunch of guys now who are very, very acclimated to the system and where they can line up at. So I imagine when Jayden Reed is back, what you're probably going to see is the majority of the time it's going to be Christian Watson and Jayden Reed on the field when Jayden Reed is fully healthy, maybe not right off the bat. So if you're in 12 personnel, they may go with Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson to get those other guys a blow, right? And then when they go to 11 personnel, throw Reed in at the F. You got Christian at Z. I think you're going to see Matthew Golden and Romeo Doubs kind of mixing and matching with the X. And what's cool is you've got 2 or 3 guys that can play all 3 positions. So if somebody does get a little banged up in game, they have to come off like Romeo the other day where he was, landed on that concrete on his face a couple times. You can pull him off. Guess what? You kick Golden over to X. You got Jayden Reed in the F. You got Christian Watson in the Z. You're still running smooth. So I'm really, really excited to see how they utilize these guys when they get them all together for sure.
Yeah, you got a whole group of guys that are versatile, right? And there's no telling where you're going to line them up. And, it speaks to what Matt's able to do as a play caller, right? And as a schemer. And when you're, at the point when you have, weapons at your disposal, you're going to use them. And I think we've been waiting a long time, man. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully all is true. Bird is coming back soon. Right on time. I mean, look at the guys we lost, look at the guys that are going to, be day to day or week to week. I think it's awesome that we're going to get to see, as close to the full gamut of healthy guys as we can when it comes to our receiving core. And I can't wait for Matt to flip through that call sheet and dial it up for sure.
I'm over here spilling my guts. So thank you, Tim. So you do have to kind of what Coach Lynn said here. We need to lean into that wide receiver room for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I kind of see where you're coming from, right? And Jordan Love, he said in the chat as well. Jordan Love looked absolutely dominant against the Giants, but we do have to take into consideration it was the Giants. That's the 25th ranked scoring defense They had a little bit better pass defense, well, a lot better pass defense, kind of middle of the road pass defense. And then they had the worst rush defense. Of course, we lose Josh Jacobs in the middle of the game. And I say that not to throw a damp blanket on the fire. I'm just simply saying we got to take that into consideration. You don't want to get crazy pass happy because, again, the passing game struggled against the Philadelphia Eagles. So it doesn't mean that the passing game is what we showed against the Eagles. It doesn't mean it's what we showed against the Giants. It's probably somewhere in between. But I love what Coach Lynn says here because you are creating momentum as you're going in to the rest of the season. And I have all the faith in the world in Jordan Love because of all the advanced metrics and what the tape is showing. You know, when you do the adjusted completion percentage with all the drops, man, that you're truly looking up and going, okay, he is playing really good football right now, really good football. And we've shown early in this season as well, Jordan Love has played great. However, there's been 2, maybe 3 plays a game where it's like, I wish we had that one back. Yeah. That still means he's playing great football. It's just we need to eliminate those 2 or 3 throws, those 2 or 3 decisions that you have, in those games.
Yeah, it's when you see 23 of those plays that you're going, oh, no, what's going on, right? Mm-hmm. We'll take a couple mulligans during a game. That's football, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to give a shout out here. We have a new person in the chat. I hope I'm saying this right. I don't know if it's Bear for Life or Bear for Life. Bear for Life says, finally catching a live. Appreciate you filling in on the round table. Hey, thanks for swinging through, buddy. We appreciate you dropping in, man. And it's been fun filling in over there. I think Baz is back now, so you guys will get the professionalism back up to the normal level. You know what I mean? So, but it's been fun though. I appreciate the opportunity. It's so cool getting to connect with people over there as well. Whether it's Dion with the Lions and Nick, aka Trump 2.0 with the impersonation over there.
Spot on Trump impression. Spot on.
Crushes it. And then of course our boy One Bar with the Vikings. I think me and One Bar are the same person. I could tell he's a little bit, I don't want to say high strung, but he got a quick temper like I do. So I'm pretty sure we get along pretty good. Or maybe we wouldn't. I don't know. So anyway, for those of you watching this video back later, let us know what you think in the comments. Do you think Jayden Reed is back? Do you think they're going to open up that practice window tomorrow? We'll find out soon enough, and we'll be bringing you updates when they do make that decision. Also, make sure you hit that like, hit subscribe, and click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right, I want to cover one more thing real quick, guys, and we kind of talked about Jordan Love a little bit before we get into Chalk Talk. Man, I tweeted this out. I quote tweeted Jacob Morley and said, Jordan Love, big game hunter. Jacob Morley pointed out, since becoming the starter in 2023, Jordan Love has registered 94 pass plays of 25-plus yards, okay, 25 yards or more. This is the most in the NFL over that span. So since he took over as a starter, there is no other quarterback in the league that has more plays, passing plays of 25 yards or more. This is how Jordan Love plays, right? Now, there's times he has to check down. I'm just still amazed by that statistic, and there's still a portion of the fan base that think that we're just throwing underneath. They're not letting him throw deep. It's like, but we actually lead the league since he took over in plays of 25 yards or more, right? Now, are some of those yak? Absolutely. But you can't be leading the league and never throw deep, never let Jordan throw deep. So, Emilio, I know you're doing this on rookie level on Madden. You're sending those all 4. You're sending 4 verts, keep the running back in the block and chuck that thing all over the yard. But I think this is awesome. I wanted to touch on this and a little bit of Micah Parsons because this is the leader of the Green Bay Packers right here. I'm to that point now. J-Love, if you guys seen the mocked up session from the game Sunday and hearing people talk, hearing the defensive linemen talk about how cold Jordan Love is, how I think one of them said, man, that dude is hard.
Like, Wyatt. Yeah, Jordan Love is hard, and they all kind of looked at him like Jacob looks at, and
he's a grown ass man now. And
but he was trying to say, Timmy, he's tough. He's solid. He's a rock, man. That dude, he's him.
Yeah. And it's true, man. He's the leader of this team. He is, and he's done it the right way. He's not been boisterous. He's not been extremely vocal. This dude is a quiet leader. And now, which I think you're going to see is him start to voice his opinion a little bit more, right? And establish a little bit more of a role in that leadership role in the locker room. This dude, we're just so damn blessed to have him as a starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. That is the leader of your offense. I know Josh Jacobs is great, and I'm all about Josh Jacobs. I think he is a great leader as well. But you can tell the page is being turned right now Number 10 is the leader of the pack on offense. So I just wanted to get your all's take on that, and we'll talk a little bit about Micah as well.
J Money, the dime thrower, man. What else can I say that hasn't already been said, right? I mean,
I got to do it to you, Tim. I got to do it to you.
Oh.
We both. Go ahead,
hey,
Tim.
Corey, how's it going? Yeah,
Hope you're doing
no,
well, Corey.
J Money is that dude, man. Like I've been saying for the better part of 2.5, 3 years now. And, leadership comes in a lot of different, shapes and sizes and different forms, right? Jordan's going to lead this offense the way Jordan feels like leading this offense. And, I just, to your point about Josh, I think Josh is the heart of this offense, but, the soul and the leadership comes from number 10,
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. And JJ White 009 in the chat crushes this. I seen the same thing. J Love gave Dobbs a look when he dropped that pass. Dobbs came back out and caught everything. J Love is a leader to me.
That was the
Did you
second
notice that,
drop,
dude?
right? It wasn't the first one. I'm pretty sure it was the second one. Looked right, just kind of gave him that look down, Clay.
Bro, It was just like, all right, dude, enough's enough. Right. And listen, nobody wants to catch the ball more than Rome, but you can tell Romeo respects the hell out of Jordan, just like Jordan respects the hell out of Romeo, right? It goes both ways. And it was just in the heat of the moment, like, Bub, if you want me to keep coming to you, we got to make these catches. And when Aaron done that, he's an butthole. But when Jordan does it, I'm glad that people aren't criticizing Jordan the same way they did Aaron, because we need a little bit more of that from Jordan. I was very vocal, Emilio, when Aaron was a quarterback, like, hey, you've got to have that. You've got to have a leader, a general that's not just going to pat you on the ass and go, good job, man. Oh, you'll get them next time. No, you've got to demand excellence from your teammates, and they need to demand it from you.
I want to pat you on the butt and you poop my hand. So
I wouldn't want that either, Matt, because it's honestly just sort of a different leadership technique is all it kind of comes out as. Jordan's going to give you the look where it's I don't you don't want to make your parents mad, but it's worse to disappoint them. That's where it's kind of like, dude, you get that one look, it's over. But he doesn't need to sit there and scream at him to get that point across. He carries himself, a little bit more of a quiet leader. But when you speak, when you give those kind of looks, those, that sort of meaningful stuff, snap your head around. Let's get to it. I think everybody realizes, yeah, you're right, that he is the leader of this team. He knows exactly what's going on. He's starting to respond to the media even better. They were kind of asking him what was going down. How do you go about going through the injury process? What do you do back there? Yeah, they give me x-rays, they take me up, and if I can go back out, they go back out there. It's like we're getting to the point where he knows we need to get through this. We got a team behind here. We got a lot of stuff to do.
Yep. Yeah. Jordan strikes me as a lead by example kind of guy, right? Yeah. You got vocal leaders and you got lead by example guys, and he might be a hybrid of both, but I think Jordan's act as if, right? Lead by example. I'm going to go out there and put it all out there for my team. And when I need to be vocal, I'll be vocal. When I need to just lead with my play, then I'll lead with my play. And we're, like you said, Emilio, we're blessed to have J Money back there under center.
I'm going to say something here. No Diddy. All right. I noticed this on Sunday. Look at this picture of Jordan. Thank you, Ron. I'm sorry for that. Look at this picture.
You said no Diddy. I had to hit you with that right there.
Look at his quads. Have you noticed that he's thickened up a little bit this year? To me, it looks like he's got a much stronger base too. Like
thick.
Used to be kind of wiry, you know what I mean? Tall, lanky, kind of,
Pookie.
This reminds me, yeah, exactly. Silly body. It reminds me of when Favre kind of came on the scene. He was a little overweight. He trimmed down a bunch of weight when he became the starter. And then all of a sudden, those MVP years, you've seen him kind of thicken up around the base a little bit. Like that dude was all right. I think Jordan is like, I think he's stepping into an era where you're going to see, okay, no longer is the dude taking a big hit and this and that. I mean, you see him, he already tries to run through people's faces, right? I mean, he did that to his own detriment on Sunday. But I don't know, man. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but just something looks a little different to me in that regard. Like he's worked on his body a little bit and improving the strength in the lower body. And that's exciting because I'll tell you who it reminds me more of. It looks a little more like like Jalen Hurts now, as opposed to some of the other skinnier quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Some of the other younger quarterbacks.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not saying he's deadlifting the same amount of weight that Jalen Hurts is. Not many linemen are, right? But just something's changed there. I don't know if that's just me or not.
A little bit more Jalen Hurts, a little less, Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams kind of build. I think that he realizes that all that strength and power comes from the waist. Waist down, hips down, feet up. That's where he's getting all his drive. Half the time, he's got the upper body strength. He can throw it off the ground, no problem. We're not worried about that. It's how can you get your torque? How can you spin that thing? And I think you're right, Clay. You get that. He's past that, the rookie stage, knows the offense, all this other, stuff going on in his head that he needs to learn plays, all that's starting to come a little bit easier, a little bit more natural. All right, now I can focus on, the foundation, building that up. And maybe that's now on his checklist for this year, right? Start working down, get a little bit more upper body, tone that out. And dude's probably getting up at 6 every morning, hitting the gym, going into practice, doing probably a little extra than what is required just because he loves it.
Right. And Holmes says here in the chat, that's why he keeps trucking guys, LOL. And then he went on to say, guys, J-Love is bigger than Watson. Think about that. He is. He's I mean, and as Coach Lynn says, Love looks like he's at least 230 pounds. I mean, he really does. He looks like he's thickened up in a good way, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then I just wanted to point out here just an update on the statistics. He's got 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's passed for 2,421 yards, a passer rating of 103.8. He's averaging 7.8 yards per attempt, 67.7% completion percentage. That's not adjusted completion percentage. That's with the drops, right? And then, of course, the EPA per dropback is what I wanted to highlight. He's 3rd in the league in EPA per dropback, actually tied for 2nd with the reigning MVP, Josh Allen. Only Drake May has a better EPA per dropback, and it's literally positive, a plus 0.21. J-Love and Josh Allen's are a plus 0.20. So he's right up there in efficiency with the reigning MVP. So just wanted to point that out. And then one last thing before we get into chalk talk was on the defensive side of the ball. This guy right here, I was a little bit, I don't want to say concerned, but I was really eager to see how Micah Parsons was going to gel with this locker room. Like, because he's a superstar. Everybody knew he was a superstar. And when he comes in, is he going to be boisterous? Is he going to be loud? Is he going to be that rah-rah guy? Or is he just going to – he's been quiet. He's been keep your head down work and nothing but production, as Jacob Morley pointed out in the tweet. Micah Parsons has 19 sacks in his last 19 games. And you could tell that when he came in, this defense gravitated toward him. And I respect the hell out of Rashawn Gary, who's one of the older veterans on the team, been here since he was drafted. You could just tell he's lockstep with Micah, right? Mm-hmm. And then you remember earlier in the year, the reason I wanted to highlight this with Jordan Love talk before we get to chalk talk is, remember when Gary stood up earlier in the year and Micah said, "No, he said, sit your ass down. That's my $200 million quarterback out there. We're going for this. Like, we're putting it on his back," right? I just love the fact that on offense, Jay Love's the leader. On defense, you got Micah Parsons over there. Doesn't mean they're the only leaders on the team, but this team runs through those two cats, and they're going to be Packers for the foreseeable future. So just wanted to highlight that. Anything you guys want to add to the Micah Parsons leadership talk there as well?
I was just adding this real quick to the Jordan Love, just tabbing it off for Chuck Jaggers. Jordan is slowly hooping, just waiting for that RAV4 to start up next week. Toyota-thon, baby. The picture's in the archives. We'll have to pull it out for you one day, Chuck. No worries. But you're right, Clay. Micah, he's that dude. I was talking to my dad, talking to Essay today. He was excited. He saw Quinn Williams out there. He said, we're getting a little bit more out of him than what was that 97. I said, Clark? He said, yeah, man, I feel like I don't hear him enough. He's not. We're just not getting enough out of him. He's probably doing the dirty work, and that's what kind of Kenny was always about. But you see that they missed that sort of splash player, that closer. Micah is a closer. Micah is that ninth inning pitcher you bring in with one out left just to get the dude in three. You know what I mean? That's why he's out there, but he's got enough in the tank at the end of 50, 60 plays to still close it out, get a couple of sacks at the end of the game and ice it. That's going to be
built to ass, BTA. Know what I'm saying?
That's going to be important. That is going to be extremely important at the end of the season. And just knowing that it can happen, knowing that the team, all right, he turns it up, maybe we need to turn it up with him. If everyone's turning it up on that level at the end of the game, 2 minutes left, we're going to have a scary defense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add there, Tim, to the J Love and Micah Parsons talk before we jump into Chalk Talk, man?
Yeah, with Micah, a lot of talk about the run game. You know, pull the numbers. You know, look how he looks against the run. You know, we've heard a lot of talk about, oh, he's an edge rusher, he's a pass rusher. You know, he's a liability in the run game. I don't see that at all on tape this year.
I completely agree. And I love how Hafley approached that too. Hafley said, if anybody thinks that Micah Parsons isn't a good run defender, I'd like to sit down and watch tape with you. I love that approach. Absolutely love it. So for those of you watching this video back later, let us know in the comments what you think about what we just talked about. Jordan Love, Micah Parsons, do you feel good about that being the leader of your offense, the leader of your defense? They're both young. They're going to be here for the long haul. They've both got long-term contracts. Everything's already in place for the cornerstone of your leadership right there as well. So let us know what you think about that. Maybe is there a player or two that you feel like is a leader on the team as well? Let us know in the comments. Hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right, boys, y'all ready to get into it? Chalk Talk?
Let's do it.
Ready to go.
All right, man, this is going to be a blast. We've got 16 plays, if my count is correct here, from the New York Giants game. Packers get the dub 27-20. Middle eight was tied 6-6. Turnover differential goes to Green Bay 2-0. Anytime you win the turnover differential 2-0, hey, listen, you're going to win that ball game. I'm just telling you, you got about a 6% chance of losing that game if you got a +2 turnover differential. So as Chuck Jagger says, hashtag sorry, Mandy. Yep. Sorry.
We need to get that trending. We need to get that trending on Twitter for her.
She probably already has. So she probably saying sorry. You don't want sleeping on the couch. But anyway, we'll see if we can get done in a reasonable time here as we've been going way over with the Chalk Talk. So let's start here, pick up with a little bit of negative. Let's lead off with some negative because there's going to be plenty of positive here, okay? But yeah, first play we're going to highlight. First quarter, 13:45 left. You guys know the Giants went right down the field to score, right? So it's 0-0, 3rd and 5 at your own 40.
That was the first time this year, correct? First time we gave up an opening tutter on the opening drive.
Say that on the broadcast, Tim. I believe you're right. Yeah,
Yep.
I think you're right. So this is a 3rd and 5 at their own 40. This is Winston to Kentucky's Wan'Dale Robinson. I got to throw that out there. You know, when we're not winning college football games, we got to point out the pros we put out here. Here's what I think the play call was. Nickel 4-2-5, 29 spur, cover 3 sky, okay? If you're wondering what cover 3 sky is, think of it this way. The corner will cover the sky, okay? They're going deep. You got a post safety covering deep, all right? And what will happen is whoever your safety is, rather than buzzing and sitting in a hook curl, what they're going to do is work a curl flat, okay? And that is 29. That's a 29 spur. So obviously that means that our boy McKinney is in the box here, okay? So, again, a cover 3 sky. This is a pretty good play call, in my opinion, by them. But let's watch and see who's responsible for this. I think it was a 20-yard gain to Robinson right here, okay? So, as the snap is taken, this is what we call spot drop, okay? So, this is cover 3 spot drop, and it's cover 3 sky. They run a little crosser pattern, and you see there is all kind of space out here, right? So, who's supposed to cover that? That's the question. Well, think about it. Since they're playing sky, McKinney had the curl flat right here, right? So that would lead you to believe it's this defender right here. However, you see that guy's in his zone. This is what you call flooding the zone, right? You want to flood the zone, so you want to make these guys have conflict on who they're supposed to cover, and that's going to create this space out here. Because think about it. I think this is Adrian Cooper. If he drops into this space to cover, you know, a little deeper than maybe he should have covered because they're running a crossers concept, then this guy's open. But again, that's more of McKinney there, in my opinion. You want to get depth and prevent that first down. But keep in mind, it is a 3rd and 5. So they played it underneath and made them make the more difficult throw, right? So that's probably the mindset behind it. As you see, Winston hits him in the soft spot. They almost got there to make a play. Pretty big stick there, too, on Wan'Dale Robinson. But you could see, in my opinion, I think it's more on Cooper than anyone. Although I will say, as we back it up one more time to the All-22, you're seeing this more commonly with spot drop. Watch Quay. Tell me who Quay is covering here. See?
The New York Giants logo in the middle.
Yeah. And that's the problem he gets into. Now, keep in mind, in the past, we've said he hasn't been aggressive enough underneath. So it kind of feels like Emilio, what he did here. Emilio hit L1 on the play change and said, hey, listen, play the sticks. So when you play the sticks, you're saying sit around the first down marker, and that leaves that void underneath. So
because you're hoping that one, the pass rush gets there in time, and two, by the time 25 is doing his little leak cross, a little Texas route out of the backfield, Quay's going to step up and stick him. I mean, and then it's over. Turn or fourth down, but you just didn't get the pass rush there in time. And you probably hit, triangle and flick down on the right stick. Clay did a little hard flat. Everybody came down to the line of scrimmage, and you get beat. If you have enough time, you can get beat at that 10, 15-yard level. As long as the quarterback can layer it, Winston can do that.
Right. So you're probably playing the sticks here, right? And listen, if they decide to go underneath the sticks, you prevent the first down. Everybody's loving the call. But the fact that they found the void behind it, Tim, it looks like a bad call, bad execution. It's just kind of a tough look there because you're playing the sticks.
Even with the interim head coach, right? It's a good play call, right? The other team gets paid too. We'd like to have it back. But I agree with Emilio's point. I think maybe Quay was playing the sticks there. If he shades backwards, it's maybe a different story. But you got to tip your cap to the Giants on this opening drive, right?
And you got to tip your cap to Jameis Winston. I mean, he throws that right by a hand in his face.
Yep,
that's a pretty damn good throw right there. He's literally got a paw in his grill right there. So again, sometimes they just make the better play, right? If we play it deep and let them have the first down, there's fans bitching and moaning, saying, "Oh, we're playing soft, we're playing too far off," right? And again, it's a crossers concept, but it's almost like a high-low read on that right side. Once you read true spot drop, right? So again, that's how you attack zone defense when there's not match involved. Is you flood the zone. That's what they did, right? So, all right, next play. First quarter, 11:53, still 0-0. Second and 10 play at Green Bay's 28-yard line. So here's another 20-yard gain from Winston to Hodgins. Let's see if we can figure out what happened on this play. I think it's nickel 4-2-5 shell. So you see they're showing a shell look, right? Two safeties on the shelf here. And I think it's a cover 2 call. Let's roll the tape and show it. So this looks like cover 2 zone. Notice that Quay does not take the seam here. So I don't think it's a Tampa 2 call, although he is locked on to the number 2 target, which is the tight end. That's typically who he follows down the seam. This looks like a cover 2 zone call to me, and you see they just find the soft spot. But I will point out, Quay shouldn't be down there biting on that. He should be somewhere in here making that throw a little bit more difficult, right? Let's roll it back and tell me if you guys see it a little bit different. Because I think this is why Quay graded out so bad. This is one of the few times that I agree with PFF's tape. Whose zone is that, if y'all had to guess? Right? So,
that's Quay's. And it's definitely not a Tampa 2. You can tell.
Right. He didn't flip his hips, didn't try to, get any extra depth there. Would have been a good call, right? Would have been a good call.
Yeah, we would have liked the Tampa 2 look right there, maybe. But again, this is one of those you want back, right? And, good play call, but also, if he's a little bit shallower and more towards the middle, maybe he gets a hand on that ball, gets a PBU or something.
Right. And I want to give a shout out to Losmel in the chat. It says, Clayton, I was at the Giants game. The wind was howling 30 mile an hour with gusts of 45. Flags on the same goalposts were blowing in opposite directions. Don't blame the field goal kicker. Don't blame the field goal kicker on the misses. He's saying, and that was kind of our assessment too. But I wanted to point out too, that might be why they're playing the sticks here a little bit more, Emilio, and playing underneath, is because they thought the wind would be a little more of a factor too. You got to tip your cap to Jameis Winston for spinning that thing through that wind.
Yeah, and I think Quay maybe just got caught looking a little bit, peeked inside, kind of shuffled, just one over. But you're also working trips. You're working the trip side with the halfback heavy. So you have, strong right, halfback right. You kind of want a little bit more, eyes on that side. I think Quay carried the halfback for a second, saw the dude right in front of him, and there was just, because he came from the outside, right? That was the outside receiver running a dig.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure it was. If
so he wouldn't have even seen that guy leaving. It would have been, it would have been a layered across coming back across his body there.
Right, just the tip, though.
Let's watch it one more time here, because I don't want to get caught up too long in this play. But let's see. I'm pretty sure it was what we call a wrap concept, right? So what it's going to be is a curl, and then they're going to wrap around the backside.
Yep, eye candy.
We like that. We like that concept a lot too. Let's see if that's what it was. Yep, wrap. See, so you get those guys to commit up and then wrap around it.
Mhm.
So good play call, you know.
Yep.
So, and then listen, if you were to say, Clayton, here's going to be their play call. They're going to run a wrap concept with a halfback flat. What's your call? Oh, so they're not attacking the seam? Give me a cover 2 zone. That would have been my call, right? So it was a good play call on the defensive, you know, on Jeff Hafley's part. Just bad execution on Quay. Just got caught up in the eye candy. Like you said, the guy going to the flat led him to the curl. Oh, crap. There's a dig on the backside. So,
Yep. And by the time you realize, you know, it's a completion, it's too late.
Right. So again, that's why I think Quay graded out kind of bad. You know, again, was it as bad? Did he play as bad as PFF said he did? I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. But those 2 plays were 2 20-yard gains, one on a 3rd and 5, the other on a 2nd and 10, which led to a 5-yard touchdown run. That's how the Giants go up 7-0 in the first quarter. Okay. All right. Now let's move along. First quarter, 4:12 left. Giants lead 7-0, 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. This is the Bo Melton 17-yard run. Boy, oh boy, nobody complains about the jet sweeps and the touch passes, the pop passes when it works, right? So here we go. 11 gun, bunch nasty X, strong right, T orbit, Y zip lead, 22 fake, X jet. All right, so Bo is actually playing X here. He's on the line of scrimmage opposite the tight end. So in this case, Christian Watson's your F, and Matthew Golden is your Z. So you're seeing how they're mixing and matching, right? So they put Bo Melton out there at X. They typically run these jet sweeps from the Z or the F position. So now Matt's running it from the X, and it's probably what caught them off guard, right?
Yep.
So with this play call, we're going to go T orbit. So the T is actually going to spin around, orbit the quarterback, and then they're going to fake a 22 run right here, okay? And then the Y is going to zip lead. So what he's going to do is the ball is going to be snapped. He's going to go over and then zip back and be a lead blocker outside. And then the X is just going to be the jet sweep from behind. Okay. So again, the play call is 11 gun, bunch nasty X, strong right, T orbit, Y zip lead, 22 fake, X jet. All kind of eye candy going on here. You're showing that you may run a sift block, right? You're showing, oh crap, he's orbiting out. Sometimes they like to run that swing pass. No, it's actually going to be a fake in the A gap right, and the ball's actually going to go to Bo Melton. Matt LaFleur was in his damn bag on Sunday.
Yeah.
Let's watch it here. There's the orbit, bang, spin, toss, lead block, beautiful lead block there with the Y.
That's one of those illusion of complexity, but it's also complex, right? You've got the illusion, and you also have some complexity here. And yeah, this is Matt in the bag right here. And great execution. You know, O-line, QB1, you know, our Flyers, great work.
Look at the lean of all the defenders. Why? Because 86 was showing a sift, right? Yep. This looks like split flow on the surface. And remember, we run the majority of our jet sweeps to F and Z, Emilio. This time it's going to X. This is Matt. This is all Matt LaFleur right here. Again, with the indirect.
I thought he couldn't scheme, though. I thought he was bad at play calling.
Yeah. Things change in a week, don't they, man? It's funny how that works. But you see what I'm saying with the Y? Zipping
and full sell. Christian's barreling down the Y. It's almost like one of those. I don't know how often you're in the Army playbook, Clay. A little flex bone counter, little QB counter. You get going one way. All about eye candy. As long as you do your job, we can gain yards on the play.
Emilio's in the Army now.
Come on now. That's just great. That's great execution, really.
Hey, can we talk about water cooler at the bottom of the screen? Watch 86, boys.
Yeah, buddy. Bang.
Come on now.
Hello.
Let's go. Let's go.
I love it. And that's what you want with Bo too, right? Give that man that ball. Give him a lead blocker, a little bit of space. This is what happens.
It's crazy because you go to the same side the motion is at first. So everybody was already shifting that way. They go, oh, snap, the running back's coming back this way. And oh, snap, Bo's on the other way.
Yep.
Football is all about attacking space and defending space. And when you can steal a hat or two or a gap or two of space by creating that eye candy, it makes all the difference in the world. That's something that Matt LaFleur is really, really good at. So, all right, so there's you an explosive run, right? Next play, first quarter, 1:53 left. Giants still lead 7-0. This is a 3rd and 8 play. Jordan's out of the game, hurt, right? At New York's 32-yard line. This is the Malik Willis 16-yard run. Let's go into the bag again. Let's go to the back of the call sheet, Matt. We're going 11 gun empty, tray left, T-flex 1, okay? So, again, what's that mean? 11 gun empty. So you're going 1 running back, one tight end. T-flex 1 means he is flexed out as the number 1 receiver. Remember, you always count outside in. So that's the 1, that's the 2, right? So there's your T. And we're going to go shift to weak. So we're going to bring the T into the weak side of the formation, strong left, right? So now he's shift to weak. We're going to go Y-sift lead, all right? So the way this is going to work is you're going to run what we call a 21 zone read. You're going to put the ball in the belly of the running back, and you're going to look to potentially hand it off to him for a gap left, right? A 21 run. So the Y-sift lead makes it look like it's split flow, but with the zone read, if you decide to keep it, then you've got a lead blocker out here in the sift block. You see what I'm saying? So it could have been 100% designed. This is just going to be a QB keeper for Malik Willis. I think it was a zone read. You guys watch it unfold. Let's go 75% here. So see what I'm saying? Look at the sift coming across.
Yep.
Now what's Malik reading right here? Right?
Conflict defender.
Yep. So as soon as he flips his hips, notice how his left leg is in front of his right. He's completely sold out. I'm going with the running back. When he crashes, pull that ball out of the belly and hit the edge. And what's awesome is Matt LaFleur said, if you decide to do that, I'm going to get you a lead blocker out here too. Let's roll the tape. Bang, he keeps it. The defender's out of the way. Notice the sift didn't even worry about that defender. He's already out of the play, right? So now he's going to get out here and seal a block so Malik can cut it back in.
Rome already digging him out.
Yes, sir.
Yep, Rome with a hell of a block right there, right?
This is Matt LaFleur flipping that call sheet over like we talked about, right?
Yep.
Oh, we got QB2 in the game. Let's dial it up right here.
Did you hear Wyatt on
this bread and butter right here?
Absolutely. Tim, did you hear Wyatt on the mic'd up? He goes, man, no one's catching Malik. That boy fast. I mean, they're sleeping on him. He is fast.
Dude, every time he runs with the football but 10 yards or more, he cracks 20 miles an hour, which is wild to think about. So Rome's going to get in here, dig the safety out, right? Like you said, once the running back comes in here, Emilio, right? Now it's game on. So now it's a zone read. So this is your conflict defender, okay? So Malik going to take the ball, put it in the belly, read him, watch him crash. He crashes right there. Bang. Oh, we're pulling this thing. And here comes water cooler again, right? Around the other side. This is just a beautiful play call by Matt LaFleur.
And he sells it too. Yes, thank you. Water cooler's out there. He's selling like he's about to go sift his leg out. He's going to take him out of the play. A little sidestep, and we're off to the races.
He was the best guy around.
I love that it faked the cameraman out too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
love
it's
it.
a great play call by Matt. And again, this is with your backup quarterback in. It's almost like when the backup comes in, Matt flips a call sheet and goes, "Oh, this is gonna be fun. Let's get creative."
Yeah. Like how cool is it as a fan to see QB1 go out for a few plays and you got your backup coming in and nobody's nervous, right? Nobody's like, "Oh no, what's gonna happen?" It's like, it's the Malik Willis show. Let's go.
Right. And, there's a portion of the fan base that likes to say, "Oh, well, that means Malik Willis is better." No. If a team has all week to scheme for this, and now you got to depend on Malik Willis to sit in the well and throw the football, we don't know how good he can be.
Exactly.
We've always seen him on kind of a short week and just filling in a couple of weeks. They get 4 or 5, 6 weeks of tape on this guy. It may be a different outcome. Now, he may be dominant. He may be a franchise quarterback. But Jordan brings a lot more to the table than Malik does, in my opinion. So I don't want this to be misconstrued as, crap, we think Malik Willis is better.
Jordan ran the read option 2 or 3 times this year already.
Absolutely.
It's just the speed afterwards is just a different level. I mean,
it's unbelievable.
If anything, it's a credit to Tupac LaFleur, man. And his ability to call those plays, based on who's under center out there. Sure.
Yeah. All right, this next play, boys, is this long enough for you? I'm going to read it once and explain what it means. We're going 12 ace nasty, Y70 safe, tray left, shift to tray right, 22 fake, sprint right, X drag, Z spot, U leak.
Ready, break.
All right, so let's
Here we
start
go.
12 ace nasty, right? 2 tight ends. Here's what's cool. Why did I say Y70? Y70 means Kennard is playing the Y tight end position here, okay? So we're going Y70, tray left, 3 targets to the left, right? At least one of which is a tight end. That's Trey instead of Trips, right? And then we're going to shift to Trey right. We're going to go, okay, let's shift it. Now let's bring him across. Notice he pointed. Fitzpatrick pointed at Romes to get up on the line, make sure you're covered, right? Because he's got to now be on the line of scrimmage to make it a legal formation. They
ran into that last week, and everybody was mad at him. Us included. I wasn't happy about it, but you got a backup corner and everything, so let's go.
Yep, we learned, right? So shift the tray right. Now we're going to go 22 fake, and he's going to stay safe. What's that mean? So they're going to kind of set up a play fake in the A gap right, and he's going to stay in and help block. Okay, so that's what 22 fake safe means. And then the play is going to be a little sprint right. Look, you're going to fake the handoff, and then you're going to sprint right. And now the play call is X drag. So your X on the line of scrimmage opposite your tight end is going to run a little drag route across, okay, a little shallow, if you will. And then the Z is going to run a spot route, right? He's going to come up here and just sit. You can't see the red because of the Giants. Here we go. Let's try that. Their logo is red, obviously. So he's going to run a little sit route, okay? And then the U is going to leak in the flat. So he's going to chip and then leak out in the flat, all right? So it's really a sprint right option. You've got a spot on the backside, which is what Malik ends up hitting. You get a drag pulling the defense across away from the spot. If they sit on the spot, hit the drag. If they go with the drag, hit the spot. They played it pretty damn good. Malik Willis just has a freaking laser for an arm. So again, 12 ace nasty, Y70 safe. Again, safe. So Kennard is just going to be an extra pass protector here, guys. So you've got, in this situation, on a sprint right option, you've only got 3 targets and you've got 7 blockers. That's what we call max protect, right? So again, 12 ace nasty, Y70 safe, tray left, shift to tray right, 22 fake, sprint right, X drag, Z spot, U leak, which is going to be a flat. This is going to go to our boy, Josh Wally. Watch the play unfold. Watch him immediately sprint right. That's sprint right option, okay? Now you see Christian is trying to show a little outside look, and then he's just going to sit, right? And now you got Rome with a little window there, to be honest with you. But Malik already letting that thing fly. It's almost like Dobby was looking for the window to come open. The ball's already in the air. He starts to grab it and goes, oh, crap, that's not to me. And
that's what we were talking about post game. Like, great job by Rome there, not trying to make a play on that ball because it wasn't meant for him, right?
Yeah. Now let's watch it 50% and watch the catch that Scoot makes on this, that Christian Watson makes. This is an unbelievable grab. And again, watch the hit that Malik Willis takes too. Right here, he knows I'm about to get crushed. Let it rip. What a catch by Scoot, dude. He's got a guy draped all over him, man. And I was
I said that immediately, man. One of the best catches of Scoot's career right there. That is the definition of a contested catch right there.
Focus that took, Tim.
Yep.
2 bodies.
And the strength, right? Strong hands. I mean, that's a hands catch all the way from the grab to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's hands.
Looked like he had like a little brother kind of hanging on his arm, and he just like he just put his just bring that thing in, no problem.
Yes, sir.
Would have liked Kennard to get a hand on somebody on that play, but I get that he's trying to stop everybody kind of sitting in that short zone. But
and I was wrong on the U being Wally. That was actually our boy Fitzpatrick on this play.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, which is good. I mean, you can use them both. But look at that lick that Malik Willis takes, guys. Seriously, he's tougher than a $2 steak. This is right. You're vulnerable as hell with that arm up. Bang.
He throws. He leaves his feet to throw that. He knew he was getting hit.
Yep.
Hell of a throw, man. Let's see if we can pause it right there when he does leave his feet. Look at that. That's called sacrifice. Sacrificing your freaking body right there, dude.
I don't think people appreciate that enough, man. To be a right-handed quarterback and throw that ball off your right foot like that against the grain and put a dot on your receiver's face mask.